How to use Mailchimp. That's what I'll walk you through in our updated Mailchimp tutorial for beginners. There's 4 main things we're going to cover in today's video. 1, how to send marketing emails with Mailchimp. 2, how to create forms and add them to your website to start growing your list. 3, how to create landing pages in Mailchimp. The 4th thing we're going to talk about is automated email sequences. So maybe someone signs up on your landing page, you want to send them the guide and then send them a bunch of emails. After that, you can do that all on autopilot with automated email sequences. Really easy to do with Mailchimp. This is one of the features that's only available with the paid plan. Everything else we talk about in the video is with the free plan, but I'll be sure to point out as we go along what you can do for free. And if anything is with a premium paid plan, I'll point that out as we're going through this tutorial. Let's hop on the computer and learn how Mailchimp works. So when you sign into your Mailchimp account, it's going to look something like this. Obviously, if you're starting from scratch, maybe there's a step-by-step tutorial of how to get started with Mailchimp. But in general, it's going to look something like this. I have not created a tutorial on how to build a website with Mailchimp, but if it's something you're interested, let me know down below in the comment section. But for this tutorial, we're not going to focus on that. And to focus on the very first thing we're going to do in this video is how to send a marketing email with Mailchimp. So if you saw back there, I'll go back again, is click on create. And you see right here, regular email. So that's what we're going to do today is click on design email. The first thing we want to do is give it a name. So let's say coffee subscription email. Save. Then the to, so this is who we're going to send it to. I think by default it's going to give you your entire database within Mailchimp. This is 5 people within this one, but if we want to change that, we could click on edit. Maybe we want to send it to just our audience that has a specific tag. We could choose the tag right here. Once we're done with that, and within each of these different sections, make sure to click on the separate save that each one of them has. Then with the from, we could change, maybe I just want to say Jeff instead of Jeffrey. Save that. The next section, the subject, there's 2 things here. You have the subject and then you have the preview text. So let's fill in the subject first. So let's say my favorite coffee subscription. And then the preview text. So normally you have who the email is from, you have the subject, and then after that you have kind of the beginning text of the email. That could be kind of not very focused. So it could be, hey, how are you? This is great. And then kind of in paragraph 3, you talk about what this email is about. So the preview just automatically might not be that great. If you want to change that, so the preview is instead whatever you type in this box, that's where you put something here. Okay, so you can see what I did here. So this would be the subject of my favorite coffee subscription. I'm not sure how I'm going to start the actual email, but something really summarized like this would be a great kind of complementary line to the subject, where what I write in the email may not be quite as concise as what this is. So that's where you add the preview text. Again, don't forget to save this section. Okay, and the next step is to design the email. Okay, so one of the things that I've done previously is added a logo. That's what comes in right here. If I wanted to replace that, or if you haven't created your logo yet, you can choose that right here. You can choose the alignment. If you want this to be a link to, say, your website, you could add that right there. If you only wanted the logo at the bottom, didn't really like this one, just delete any of the sections like so. For most of my emails, one of the things that I don't really like about Mailchimp is they're too designed. So if you have a clothing brand or something very visual, this could work really well. If you have some type of service, if you're an online content creator, I like using ConvertKit better than Mailchimp. But if you want to use Mailchimp, what I like to do is try to convert these emails into more of a one-on-one conversation. So if you were just sending an email to a friend, it's not going to look like this. It's not going to have centered text like so. You would probably align everything to the left, right, kind of in paragraphs, all kind of the same size font. So this section I would probably get rid of too. This I would probably go to a line left and then start it out like a conversation. So you say hello. And then if you want to add the person's name, you click on merge, first name, comma, and then here's where you would get into the text. So here's the hypothetical email. If I had an audience interested in coffee and I wanted to talk about the Trade Coffee subscription service. So I could write out the email like this. I can add the first name. If, for say, I did not want this email here, if I didn't want the button, I could go through, delete all this, create kind of a plain text email. If there was enough spacing between the paragraphs, I guess I don't need to do kind of the double spacing like that. I think works just fine. And then if I want to change any of that, what I could do, so I can highlight all the copy right now. If I want to change The font, we could do that. So let's say Arvo. Here's what it looked like. Not, maybe not. What else would I maybe want to use? I like Lato. Okay, so here, change the font. If I want to change the size of the font, if I want something to be in bold, so maybe Trade Coffee is a company name, so maybe we would bold that. And then now I need to go in and add the link. So if this were our coffee brewing guide, we could click a link here and then just say, this page doesn't actually exist, but something like that would work. Let's just send people to our homepage, insert that there. And then also if we wanted to send people to Trade Coffee to check that out, I think it's Drink Trade. There. Okay, insert that there. So that's essentially the email. If you wanted to add your social links, you would just go through and add all of them like so. You can change the size of the buttons if you want to change the alignment to left, right. I think it looks better centered. If you want to change the spacing a little bit, you can do that here. If you want to change to colorful buttons, if you want to add color to the block, there's tons of options as far as the formatting of your emails. If there's something additionally you want to add, you can see with each of these sections, it gives you an option to click on this little plus button so you can change the layout, have a heading, add an image, creative assistant, insert a video, a spacer, divider, button, logo, social links, product, survey. There's a whole bunch of different things that you could insert in these emails. It's really, really easy to add whatever you want. I try to keep stuff pretty simple. That's why I designed it like so. If this was the email we wanted to send, we would just then click on continue. And there we go. We have it sent to our entire audience. Here's who it's from. Here is the subject, and here is the content. If we were all set to send, we could click on send it now. If we wanted to send it at a later date, we could click on schedule. So if we wanted to send it on December 29th at 8 a.m., we could just set that up like so. 9:15 a.m. schedule campaign. There we go. We're all set to send out this campaign December 29th at 9:15 in the morning. That's your first email marketing campaign sent out to your entire audience. Really, really easy, wasn't it? The next thing I want to talk about is how to create a form and add it to your website. So to do that, what we can do is click on audience. One thing we're not going to cover in this video is how to add your first contacts. I can just show you that really, really quickly. But if you here within the audience section, go to, and either you can click on all contacts or along the side, there's a few things here. So if you go to manage audience, what you could do is add a subscriber. Here is where you could add an individual one at a time. Also within here, you could import contacts. So here you could import from another service, or you could upload a CSV file or copy and paste from a spreadsheet. This is fairly easy. If you have trouble with this, you can see our tutorial for last year or leave me a comment down below and I'm happy to help you out with that. But let's get back to what we were doing. So here we want to go to sign up forms. There's two different types of forms here. So you have embedded forms. So that's kind of embedded within the website, kind of between different images or text or whatever it is. That's what we're going to do today. Another option are pop-up. So, someone is scrolling maybe on one of your blog posts and a form kind of pops up covering the screen. You have both of these options here. They recently added contact forms as well, so you could get a message when someone signs up. So this is more kind of for a service or something more one-on-one as opposed to growing your email list and sending emails to a large audience. But let's focus on an embedded form. Okay, so here's the embedded forms. There's a couple of different formatted options. So you have condensed, horizontal, unstyled, advanced. We're not going to focus on. Let's just focus on creating a classic form. Maybe this title right here, we don't want it to just say subscribe. It could be get my coffee brewing guide. So something like that, someone would know, hey, they're going to get something for free by signing up to this form. One of the things that I noticed with how it's set up currently is first name is not required. So someone could just enter their email address and subscribe. I would probably make this a required field as well, but you're not going to be able to do that within the embedded forms. To update the forms kind of in general, you're going to want to go up to sign up forms and go to form builder. And then from here, so if we scroll down, what you're going to see is what's actually showing up on forms right now. So first name and email. So if I click on first name and then go to required field, and then again, you're gonna have to remember to kind of save different pieces of things separately when you're using Mailchimp. So right here, if I want to save this to be a required field, then click on save. If I wanted to add other things that would then show up on the embedded forms, I would maybe want, like if I wanted someone's phone number, I would recommend to only include things that you absolutely need, the more things that you ask for. So if you ask for last name, address, phone number, things like that, you're going to have a lot less signups. So the less forms, the more signups you're going to get. So I would leave it this way, but just know there's a bunch of other options of things that you could add. With this first name is now required, then we can go back to sign up forms, go to embed forms, and you're going to see there's a star for this. So maybe here, let's update this again, get my coffee brewing guide. And then what I need to do here is generate embed code. Okay, so here, if we just click here, we'll get copy code. Okay, so here is the editor for our website, which is built in Squarespace. If you're interested in learning how to build your own website with Squarespace, check out the tutorial video I'll link to above right here. To edit a page within Squarespace, if this is the page we want to add it to, you can just click on edit in the top corner, and let's just find some place to add it. Yes, I'm going to add the form to our homepage. Hopefully there's not too many people there right now. Add blank section, and then here we need to add plus. And if we look down below, you see code. We don't want it to say hello world, so let's delete that and then paste the Mailchimp code. Something like that, and then we can click off. This script disabled is going to disappear when we view it live on the website. If we're done making changes, go up to the top, click on save, and that is now saved and live on our homepage. So if we go to thefigco.com, let's scroll down a little bit, and here is our Mailchimp form. And now let's move on to landing pages. So landing pages are the most powerful tool for growing your email list. Definitely recommend creating at least one, maybe several, for different things you could give away for free. It's a great way to really grow your email list. To get to landing pages, I think if you click on create here, it'll show up, or yeah, and then you see everything down. You see landing page here and right in the middle. So for landing pages, there's a couple of different options here. So you'll see some of them are lead gen and some of them for accepting payments. Right now we're focused on lead gen, which is collecting emails. So we could choose any of the lead gen ones. Let's do this wild country form. So you're going to see with everything within Mailchimp, the forms, the forms, landing pages, emails, how you edit stuff is really, really similar. If you can create an email, you can also create a landing page. So anything on here, basically what we can do is just click on the edit like so. And so this tours image, maybe this whole section, I would say, let's just get rid of it. We're not going to be doing tours. There was that. And then this image, maybe we want to, if we click on the image, it'll let us swap it out. Let's choose one of our coffee images. And this again, so what do we want to say? This I'll show you in just a second, which is an anchor. So yeah, I'll show you in a second. Coffee brewing guide. So this is, do I want this blue? I don't think so. All right. So, all right, let's just have a black font. We want to change the actual font that we're using. Lato. There we go. Maybe italic. Yeah, italic works. So that's the heading. The actual form, so what you're collecting from them, you can click on edit here and add different things to add the different fields. So if we want their first name, we could add that like so. One of the things, again, here that's a little bit frustrating, it's not going to let me pull this up above the email. So you're going to have email first, then first name. Not the end of the world, but not my favorite. Then maybe you want to change this, get the guide. And then here, one of the things, do you want just a confirmation message to show up right here? So that's essentially what we saw with the form where it's like, hey, thanks for signing up. If we wanted to redirect to a different page, we could send them to one of our other landing pages or to a different web address. So maybe we just send them to thefigco.com. When you're done with this, click on save and close. The other thing too is, if we want to edit anything else, so this is the actual content. the next step would be the style. So you can see here this is in bold right now. Do we want, the labels in italics or not? Bold, left align, center. Do we want to change the color of the font, the size of the font, the actual font, the spacing of the lines, the input color? So this is when someone actually types, what's going to show up. Do we want rounded corners? So you see right now we have rounded corners for the different places where you enter text. You can change the padding, the background color. This is the button style. So what you're going to see here, same thing. Do we want to round the corners, let's say? The border is dotted border instead of solid, double border. Let's see, we have a box shadow at the bottom right. We could get rid of the shadow like so, but then what we may want to do is change the background of the button so that it pops out more. So if we did that, then with something red, we can maybe have, that's the border. Where is the button style font? No, sorry. Button font color is what I was trying to change. Yes. This right here, we could make white. There we go. That stands out a little bit more. Again, don't forget to click on save and close. So all of this editing is very, very similar to what we saw earlier. If we're like, hey, no, don't need this section. Then if I want to edit this, just click on edit right here. And then let's go and swap out the images. So ice latte here. Oops. And then here are the columns right here. So column 2, again, let's replace it. This one, insert, and then column. I always want to click over here for some reason. Replace. Yeah, that one. Insert. And then obviously the same thing. So here is VIP treatment. Amazing. So all this, you could obviously go and edit however you want it. There you go. I'm not going to update all of this. Again, we may want to delete a section. And down here, one of the things that's a little bit confusing, maybe a little bit more advanced, is this button right here. So for this button, what you need to do, so if we click on this, what I want to point out is the web address URL, and it says header. So what you want this button to do is to take people all the way to the top of the page. So this is fine here, but the thing that I accidentally deleted was the anchor from earlier. So if we edit this text again, go right here and then create an anchor. And then we want to call this header. And when we show you this finalized landing page, I'll show you why this is important. So click on OK, save and close. I think our landing page is looking pretty good. Save and close. Okay, so let's add a page title. Here's the URL. And then so audience and tags. One of the great things here, if you want to kick off the automated sequence that we're going to talk about in a second, you may want to add a tag here, because if you have different landing pages, you may want to give away different things depending on where someone is signing up. And that's where tags come in. So this audience, and then if I go to tags, maybe you want to go to best coffee guide. And so when someone signs up on this landing page, they get this tag, and then we would have a sequence for this tag added, best coffee guide. Then save this. And if we're good to go, then just click on publish. Rock and roll. So let's check it out. Okay, so here is what the form looks like. If we scroll down to the bottom, I obviously didn't change the text, or the formatting and all this isn't the same, but let's see if we click on get a quote, it took us right back to the top. So you don't necessarily have to have two different forms here. Someone goes down to the bottom and then you just have this go up to the anchor for header. And then all of a sudden they're at the top of the page again with the form and can sign up to your landing page. So now that we see the landing page is working, let's go back into Mailchimp and actually create the email someone would get after signing up on this landing page. So to do that, what you could do is click on automations. Let's just go back to the dashboard, and here we go, automations. And so here, there's the classic automations. I'll show you this towards the end of the video after we do kind of the new version, which they call customer journeys. The classic automations, that's one thing you can do with the free version. You can send one automated email with the classic automation. So someone signs up for your landing page, send them their guide or whatever you're giving them for free. You can set up that automation in classic automations. If you want to set out multiple emails either in classic or customer journeys, you're going to need to upgrade plans. If we scroll down further, here is the create from scratch option. Give it a name, best coffee sequence. Start building. Okay, step 1, choose a starting point. So with what we were talking about before is we could start this, we could kick this off when a tag is added. I have a whole video going through automations. I'll link to that up above if you want to check it out, but the majority of it we'll be able to cover in this video. So tag added. So which tag was added? So the best coffee guide tag was added when someone signs up on that landing page. So that is the starting point. That tag was added, then what happens next? So here are all the different things that you could potentially add to your customer journey. So the first one, it would be what I would say, someone got this tag, we need to give them their coffee guide. So one of the things with each of these, you want to make sure to actually create the content for each one. So what I would do is click into this. This is very, very similar to what we did when we created the first email a little while ago. So to and from, yes. Subject, let's say preview text. I could maybe leave this blank and whatever's in the email, they could see that. So there, every day as soon as possible, yes. And then design your email by starting with a template. Let's just use the simple text. Like I mentioned earlier, I want this to be kind of a one-on-one conversation. So again, get rid of the text that no one would write to a friend of theirs. And then if you want to move anything around, you can just drag and drop it like so. And then this you can see is fairly similar to the landing page or the other email we created. Here's the guide I promised. So if you want to create a link again, just highlight and click here. Obviously, if I had a coffee guide, I would put the link there. Again, if you went to merge tags, if I want to add someone's first name, I could do that. But let's just get through this quickly so you see how everything works. If this was the entire email, we could just go to save and return to journey. So tag, send email. Then the next thing we may want to do is add a time delay. So this happens immediately. Then when do you want the next thing to happen, which is what we're going to do next. So maybe it's send another email. So how it's set up right now is immediately send this, wait a week, send that. Maybe a week is too long, so we could go to hours or days. I think maybe 1 day later is probably fine. And then what we could do here, so let's say maybe this is, me recommending trade coffee, subscription, save that, use a template, go with simple text, edit, get trade coffee, add the link. There we go, insert. So obviously I could add a whole bunch of things here. I could add bulleted list, numbered list, images, use a different template, but I think you get the idea. Save and close, and then save and return to journey. So right now, this is really, really simple. Tag was added, send email immediately, wait a day, send email to. Obviously I could go through and add tons of other emails. Also, if you want to, if someone does something specific, add a tag, remove a tag, unsubscribe them, wait for a specific trigger. You can add if then. So if someone does this, to do this. If someone does that, then do something else. You can make this as complicated as you would like. You can even send an email with a survey. But if this were the customer journey that you were happy with, then just click on continue. And they want to know, what is the purpose of this. So let's say this is to nurture relationships. And if you are good to go with this customer journey, then just turn it on like so. And there we go. So as promised, here are the classic automations. So this is something you can do with the free version. You can send one automated email. So if you have a landing page and you want to say deliver a guide, this is what you would want to do. So email subscribers when they're tagged. This is what we were doing before. This is the specific list. So the campaign would be coffee campaign begin. Okay, so this is kind of what the layout looks like. So this is the first email we're going to be sending. So with the free plan, you can send this one email. If you have a paid plan with Mailchimp, you'll be able to add, further emails and add that to this sequence. The first thing we want to do is select the tag that would kick off the campaign. So it would be our best coffee guide. Right now it's set up to send a day later. Normally we'd want to do that immediately. Update trigger. And then let's design the email. So let's see, name your email. So coffee email 1, subject, here's your guide, no preview text from me, click next. Again, choose template, next, get rid of the bold text, move that up, edit, save and close, save and continue. So we're back at this screen again. We have the first email created, the only one we can create for free. Then we'll click on next. So here's the audience, the tracking, here is the email, and then just click on start sending. Confirm one email to this audience. Rock on, you started your automation. So that is our Mailchimp tutorial for beginners video. If you have any questions, comments, anything else I can help with, let me know down below in the comment section. If you found Mailchimp to be a little bit complicated, there is maybe a better or easier option, or at least our favorite option, which is ConvertKit. We have a tutorial for that. I'll link to that video right there. If you want to see all of our other email marketing related videos, check out the playlist below. Hope to see you in those and future videos. Bye-bye.